Hi YouTube family, how are you all doing? How are you all doing? Hope you're all doing great. Welcome to Victorious Living with Mirabel. Here we talk about lifestyle, fashion, faith, all that pertains to life and godliness. And for those who just subscribe, I want to say thank you. I appreciate you guys. For our returning subscriber, thank you guys so much. And for those who have not yet subscribed, please go ahead and subscribe. Join the family. So today I'm going to be spilling the tea. So grab your bottle of water. I'm going to be giving a story time, just sharing my own insecurities and how I'm dealing with my insecurities. Yep. So I'm gonna be vulnerable with you guys today. I know insecurities. I like dealing with insecurities is something that a lot of us deal with while we are growing. Many of us deal with insecurities, and most often our insecurities are like on our physical look. That's what we deal with. And I was one of those girls that I was so aware of my physical look in a very early stage of my life. And I, like, for the longest part of my teens, I grew up very insecure. It was so bad. It was so bad. And looking back now, I can say my insecurity stemmed from two areas that I'm very conscious of, and I want to encourage parents to be conscious of. Watch what you say to your kids. Sometimes you say things jokingly or you say things passively, but just like the Bible says, the power of life and death are in the tongue. Our words are very powerful. I remember while I was growing, when my mom used to say, "Oh, when I do something," she'd be like, "Oh, look at you, be running around and be playing. Very soon you're gonna grow fat until your legs are gonna come together." So it just made me so insecure. I had cousins who had overweight issues. I had cousins who, like, they were so big that your laps was kind of rubbing and your knees were like this. So it became an area of awareness for me. And it became a prayer point. And at a very teenage age, I began praying against it. And just that alone was a seed that those words sowed in my life, a seed of insecurity. The second thing that really made me insecure about myself was the fact that my mom is so slim, my younger sister is so slim, I'm the only chubby one in our house. I felt like I committed a crime. I felt like God didn't love me to give me the kind of body He gave me. I'm like, God, why? God, why? I will literally go to the washroom, I'll hold my hand like this. I'm like, God, look at my hand, look at how big my hands are. Can you just remove this fat and just give me slimmer hands? I'll hold my stomach when I'm about to take a shower. I'm like, God. I'll stand before the mirror and I'm talking to God. I'm like, God, look at my stomach. Can't you just remove this fat? This fat, just remove it so that my waist can be so thin and so lean. That was how bad my insecurity was. I remember going to the market. Yeah, we did not grow up in a luxurious, wealthy home, but those who are from Cameroon, go to buy Okrika clothes. I will go to the market, that's second hand, or go thrift shopping. I was never accepting, or I was so much in denial of my size. When I go thrift shopping, I'll always pick, like, it wasn't like here in America where most thrift stores have like a sizing room. We don't have back home. It's an open air market. You look at it, you gauge or you estimate your size, or sometimes you put it around your neck and then you take it home. That was how we thrift shop back home. And I remember going to the market, I was always gravitating towards things which were not my size, which were smaller than me. In my mind, I was thinking, oh, they're going to fit. Every time I went to the market, things I would buy were never my size because I was living in denial. And when I get home, they don't size me. It becomes another issue. I start crying. Like, or if they size me and they cuts me in the wrong places and my curves, or there is just like some foldings and things are not aligning the way the dress is supposed to look, it doesn't look nice, I start crying. It was so bad that, like, there was, if you tell me, remember, drink vinegar, you get slim, I'll buy vinegar and drink. I didn't care the consequences of drinking vinegar. I didn't want to, like, there was no research. I just wanted to slim. Literally, there was literally nothing I didn't do. I went one time, there's like, oh, there's some herbs that will make you, if you boil them, you drink, they'll make you slim. This grass, I don't know them from Adam. I had to go look for them, boil them, and I was drinking them. I remember one time it was one of my friends who came and I was drinking vinegar, undiluted vinegar. I was literally just drinking it. And the guy took the bottle. He was like, "Do you want to kill yourself?" He poured everything down. I didn't talk to that guy. till later on in my years, like we became enemies just because of that act. And he was literally saving my life because I was struggling with insecurities. When I went to the university, I had roommates in my university days. I like cooking. I will cook and I'll leave the food. People will eat. Like, I just like cooking for people to eat, but I will not eat just because I was scared that if I eat, I was gonna gain more weight. My roommate will eat and she'll eat. One day she was like, but this is not fair. She had to start using the cooking spoon. And most universities, what we cook is rice. She will literally use the cooking spoon and she'll divide the rice pot into two. And she's like, this is your area and this is my area. We are not throwing food, we are eating. Just because I was struggling, I was starving because I was struggling with insecurity. One of my first things I bought when I heard about, there was this some of these companies who come like, oh, this vibe belly belt, or yeah, belly belt that vibrates. I worked so hard, odd job, save money to buy that belly belt to see how that thing can vibrate and just burn the fat in my stomach. It was just all because of insecurity. Because when I look back now at my pictures then, in my mind I'm like, where is the fat I almost killed myself about? When I look back now, I'm like, what was I like? I can't even lay my hands on the areas that I was crying and struggling about. When I look at my pictures now, I'm like, God, this is just to tell you that most of our physical insecurities is just us being harsh on ourselves, and just the enemy just telling us lies that could lead us to depression, that could lead us to death. It could lead us to suicide. People have been so self-body shame that they commit suicide because they feel that they are not, God did not create them properly. That God did not create them properly. When I look back now, I'm like, wow, where is the fat in my hand? Or where was the fat in my hand? Or where was the belly fat? Because now I'm even maybe twice as big as I used to be. And I'm so comfortable in my body now. Then I don't know what I was doing back then. So I just want to tell somebody dealing with insecurities out there. And the next thing I want to say is that most often we are so hard on ourselves. Sometimes somebody will be talking to me and I'll put my hand like this. Just because I don't want to see my stomach back then. But honestly, most people, when they are talking to them, they're not even looking at your body. Maybe they are just so caught up in the conversations that you are bringing. And because of the insecurity, we can't even be loose. We can't be ourselves. We can't have fun. You can't just relax. You're always hiding something, or you're always to yourself, or you're always isolating yourself because you are afraid that you are afraid that all people see is that insecurity. For some people, it's just tribal mark. Some people, their tribal mark, I have a friend whose tribal mark was so small, you can't even see it, but it was a big deal for her. If she's talking to you, her head is down just because she doesn't want you to be looking at her face to face. She'll think you're looking at her tribal mark. I remember the first time I ever drank alcohol in my life is because of insecurity. I remember they said one time that was it gin tonic? I think it was gin tonic or one drink, I can't remember, that it helps to burn fat. I came back from the market that day and I dropped, for those who are in Tico, at the Tico roundabout. And I had a group of guys who were from my area. They were at by the roundabout. There were a lot of bars. The people were drinking, and the guys were like, "Oh, remember, it was a sunny and like the sun was so hot." The guys were like, "Oh, come and get a drink or get a bottle of water and drink. We know you're coming from the market. You're so tired and it's hot." I got there and I ordered this drink. I don't know if it was gin tonic or it was Jaika. I can't remember the name of the drink. I ordered this drink. Unfortunately for me, the owner of the bar did not have the smaller size, so she had a bigger size. So she's like, the guys were like, "No, bring it, it's okay, bring it." They brought it to me. Unknowing to me, I didn't even check if it was alcoholic, if it was not alcoholic. In my mind, I just knew they said if you drink it, it burns fat. And I took that drink. In all my tests, I drank a good quantity of that drink. When I drank it, immediately my whole system, like I could feel a shift in my system. That was when I knew that something was wrong. And I had to look at the alcohol level in the drink. I knew that, Mirabel, this is the hour. I couldn't talk for the remaining time I was on that table that they were chatting. I couldn't talk because I was tipsy at that point. I just had to wait. Immediately, one bike guy just came around. I just told him, "Oh, I have to go home." I really have to go home. But I was tipsy, like my eyes were turning, I was feeling headache, like everything. You can imagine if that had happened to me where I didn't know the people. It was in a strange place where I couldn't find my way around. I would have been vulnerable to a lot of things that would have happened. Some people get raped because of that, just because you're struggling with insecurity. Some people, you get kidnapped because of that, because your insecurity have related to take alcohol, and you're in a place where people take advantage of you. That day I took that bike, I got to our house, I passed my mom, I didn't even say hi, I went straight to my room, I slept with everything I was wearing, with my shoes, everything on the bed. I only woke up the next day because of what? Insecurity. Because of my insecurity. So just want to encourage somebody out there. Your insecurity, the uniqueness, your characteristics are your strength. They are your strength. They make you unique. That's why you are you. Don't dwell on them and then hold yourself back. I remember one time again in school, I think when lower sit then, it was for those who went to school in Cameroon. We have what is called bilingualism day, and most often they always give like quiz, and always give like some kind of like activities that you do and you win a prize. They brought this quiz and they said we should give a synonym for the theme of the bilingualism day that year, and the person that has the best synonym who get a cash prize reward. Here was Mirabel with her insecurity. I knew I had an answer, I knew the answer, but I couldn't write it, I couldn't say it. I had to tell a friend, and she wrote it down in her name. Guess what? On the bilingualism day, this girl went home with 70,000 cash prize for the answer I gave her. Like, it was that bad for the answer I gave her. Many people saw potentials in me. Many people saw talents in me. Many people saw giftings in me. But I was never enough. I remember when I was to be made a class prefect, or a prefect or a senior in school. I turned it down just because I felt like I wasn't good enough. Who am I to go stand in front of people? People are going to be seeing my insecurity. People are going to be laughing at my fat self. People are going to be laughing at this. I turned it down. Meanwhile, that was an area where you could start learning leadership skills, and it's because maybe somebody has seen a leadership skill in you and they just want you to start harnessing, and you gather your boldness, your confidence from there. Many people see me and they say, "Oh, maybe you're too bold. Oh, you're very outgoing." Your girl is still dealing with the insecurities, but I have learned to love myself through the word of God. I have learned to realize that how I'm built up, how I am, does not define me. The true value and the true beauty of anybody comes from within. And you have to overcome the physical insecurity to be able to build yourself inwardly strong. Nobody's going to define you. No reasonable human being is going to define you by the way you look. Explain now in our society, a lot of people, it is insecurity that's making people to go for. We are hearing liposuction, surgery. One time it was bleaching. One time it was flat belly. Like, there's a lot of crazy things, but I want to encourage you, learn to love yourself. Learn to love yourself and just be healthy and be happy. Those who slim, figure eight, or the filter and the shaping doesn't mean that they are healthy. It doesn't mean that they are happy. So learn to draw happiness from within. Learn to live a joyful life. That's all I want to say for the story time today. And I want to encourage you, pray about those things, all your insecurities that is holding you down. It's a mind game. It's a mind battle that the enemy wants to use to tie you down so that you don't live victoriously. You don't live to your full potential. You don't walk around boldly carrying yourself as a son or the daughter of the king that you are. Up to this level, please remember to love, share, subscribe. Let's grow the channel. See you all in my next video.